this week following that first leg?
Well, the sun's been shining. The weather's been fantastic. I got a fully fit squad that are fully focused on the task ahead at the weekend. I'm disappointed by the result at the weekend. But I know that the team has another level in them. And we know we have to be at our best. And I will be challenging the group, as I have done all week, to show their best level, which I don't think we have yet. And ultimately, I'm looking forward to a packed house on Sunday with our loyal fan base that will make it difficult for the opponent. And we will use, our collective wisdom to make it an incredibly difficult afternoon for Lyon, knowing that they have the talent to create chances, to make it difficult. But ultimately, our focus is firmly on ourselves, and we look very much to that, forward to that.
Roger?
Emma, how crucial was getting that away goal?
I always believed we'd get a goal, which we have shown in this competition the past couple of years, that we're capable of doing that. So that's no surprise to me. And I think that became the priority for the team probably before the game. And at the end of it, I have to be pleased that we got that. I think if we continue to build our quality around their box and display a little bit more clinical play, there's more goals in the team. So one away goal was what we were looking for, but as I said, I think the team are capable of more than that.
Lucy Bronze said of their performance, she said it was one of their worst performances of the season, never got out of second gear, said they would have won comfortably if a couple of players had played at their best. But how do you respond to that? Is that playing down your performance? Does it give you motivation to hear it all?
I don't know, I didn't read it. I'm not interested in what the opponent says. I think for us, it's about concentrating on what we do, and ultimately we control the way we play, about the way we perform, and methodologically apply everything that we've been working towards. Our performance was not an accident, nor was it as a result of the opposition. We focus on our qualities, and we will do the same again on Sunday.
Lyon are so used to winning, they've won another French title as well. But do you feel the fact that you went toe-to-toe, you came away with only a 2-1 deficit, do you feel they can be rattled with a team that won't be intimidated, won't have the game lost in the first 15, 20 minutes?
As I said, I'm disappointed we lost. We're Chelsea. We're a big football club. We have big expectations, the demands, the desire amongst this team is as great as ever. I don't care who we're playing. I was disappointed that we lost the game.
Samantha?
To get to a final, just sort of talk about how big that would be for this club.
Listen, getting to this building on time was my biggest challenge today. And I think the important part, as we know, because we've been in this position before, you have to take every step one little moment at a time, and to start thinking about anything other than how we're going to train tomorrow, how we're going to perform the next day in preparation for the game, will be foolish. We are not delusional. We know that Lyon will come at us with everything that they've got. They've got star power, they've got lots of money, they've got lots of titles behind them, they've got lots of confidence in their own ability, and they will do everything they can. But this team will throw at equal measure as much in Lyon's direction, and our crowd is unbelievable. And I'm certain on Sunday that I'll hear every single one of them inspire the players to produce a performance that I expect for this team. And if we produce that performance, then we give ourselves the best possible chance. And I am even more excited to watch my players play this week than I was last week.
Natalie?
Hi.
Hello.
Fran said she was devastated, was the word she used.
Yeah.
How's she doing now?
A midfielder can give the ball away 3, 4, 5 times. It doesn't result in something costly to the team. A defender can put a foot on the ball with a shot that's angling wide and it goes in as an own goal. And a striker can miss a penalty and feel like they've let the team down. The realities are mistakes happen in football for every single player, and that ultimately you foul more times than you succeed. Missing a penalty is part of that journey for whoever's in that position. And it's important for Fran, as it is for the rest of the team, to recognise that errors come with that, but stay strong mentally, and we go again. And if we're relentless in that pursuit, ultimately we will prosper.
Scoring late has been a hallmark of the last couple of games, at least in Europe. But do you think it's quite important to score early on in this one, just to get them rattled, to test them a little bit?
Well, I think like anything, often when I listen to punditry talk about things like I did for our FA Cup semi-final, and they talk about whatever, our tactics or whatever, it's often spoken about in a way like things are being done deliberately. The realities are a game is decided with multiple outcomes. You've got 2 teams trying to win the game, and we would love to score early as much as they would. The realities to that are that you can only score when a chance is presented to you. The hallmark of this team, which is of greater importance, is that they have the resilience to stay in the game. I know many a team that would have been 2-0 down at Lyon and folded. And we showed that they are humans. We've shown that we can compete effectively, and that if we make it difficult for them to settle into the game, then absolutely anything is possible, including an early goal. So we'll do our very best to do that, even if it's not a deliberate attempt.
Just very briefly, we've seen local crowds for women's domestic football in Spain and
Yeah.
Italy, and potentially could again this weekend at the Amex. Do you think we're seeing a turn now for the better in this country?
Yeah.
Is it quite significant?
Yeah, I think so. I think the key is, we talk about those games in Spain, but nobody talks about the subsequent fixtures being 422. The realities are single games are easier to promote. It's about games in quick succession and finding repeated audiences. And for this reason, I think the WSL are moving in the right direction. Because rather than going from 30,000 to 422, we're going from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500, 2 grand, 2.5, 3, upwards, hopefully 4,000 plus this weekend, and have a sustained audience that you build upon, I think is the sensible way to do it. But I will still maintain we need to keep investing in the marketing of our games to make sure we maximise that. And seeing more of our presence in the mainstream press on a more regular basis, I think in itself will continue to help those numbers improve.
Last one, I promise.
You promise?
I promise. We're going to see a female ref for the first time in Liga at the weekend. How soon do you think we might see similar in the Premier League?
Well, I can honestly say Sian Massey's the best lineswoman and linesperson by a country mile. I think she's outstanding every time I watch her. I don't think it will be long at all. I think it's a matter of time, much as it is a matter of time before there's a female coach in the men's game.
And Emily, you said the thing you were most looking forward to over the first day was watching your play,
Yeah.
and that there was a curiosity because Chelsea and Lyon hadn't played before. What would you say the main things you learned about your team were from that game?
Good enough. We're ready. We're good enough. We're capable. I've always said it takes several years before an English team competes. I think we're showing that we're getting closer to that. I'm not taking anything away from their achievements. They're a wonderful, wonderful football team. But we don't live in fear. And this is an environment where everybody knows that you have to perform, and that's the expectation. But also you have to suffer, and that will happen again this week because they will throw absolutely everything at this team. So we have to show we can cope, that we're resilient, that we can fight back, and that ultimately we can see how to walk through the door. And I'm certain, because this one's heard it from me a million times, that you don't get to where you want to by simply willing it there. You have to work, and we're going to have to work harder than we've ever worked at the weekend. And so I'm excited to see that, and I'm even more excited to see how the crowd are going to push our team on to produce an even better performance than they did last week.
Emma, why did you say getting to the building was your biggest challenge? Something happened today?
Well, my son's not very well. He's got a viral infection, so I was a little bit teary before I got up here because I have to go home and see him. So for me, my challenge was actually about something else, not football. Football is the easy part. Raising a child is fucking hell, well hard.
That was nothing serious.
No, he's got a viral infection. Thank goodness he don't have meningitis, which I was worried about.
Right.
So that's why I was late. Sorry.
And Emma, can I just check with you? You've often commented about the feast or famine nature of fixtures in the women's game. You've had a clear week now to prepare. Has that been different?
I actually texted Kelly Simmons last week to say thanks to the FA and her colleagues around putting an English team in the best possible position. We can't have any excuses around that. And we have the FA to thank for that, and the rest of the league, because collectively we worked towards scheduling a year ago that was to put a Champions League team in the best possible position, and those considerations will apply in the future for any English team, and that just shows the collaborative approach that's taking place across the country. And no, the FA, I'm sure they will acknowledge that I'll be full of criticism. So I have to be full of compliment when the time is right. So I did text them to say thanks.
I mean, you spoke about the atmosphere. Obviously, with the French teams, when you go away to there, the big thing about the atmosphere there. Do you think you can create a similar atmosphere at Kingsmead? I mean, I'm not expecting to bring flares and whatnot, but something similar in terms of making it intimidating.
Well, I'm already going to have a drum attached to my chest anyway, so I'll join in with the chorus. She's not lying about that. Yeah, I think one thing I've enjoyed about our fans this year, other than the song sheets that get passed around, is there is fandom. They're really on a level I haven't seen with any other team in the league. Our fan base is growing. There's an affection with the players. They sing in full chorus. There's sections of singing now that I've never seen in the women's game in this country, and it's weekly. So I'm excited to give the fans that. Like, I want to put the team in a position where both the team and the fans are excited to be a part of something. As I've always said, pressure for me is not finding bills to pay for your mortgages at the end of the week. This is a privilege. This isn't pressure. Far from it. And maybe I can say this as an older and a wiser coach. But I am genuinely excited to watch people I work with every day go out and enjoy something they do and produce something to an even higher level than they did the day before. That's what I go to work for. And to do that with the love of our fans, happy days. I look forward to seeing Leon on Sunday.
In terms of last year, is there anything you've changed after the semi-final to this year, how you've prepared?
Yeah, everything. I'm not telling you what that is today. But when I say that a lot has been changed to prepare the team to get closer to the Champions League, absolutely it has. And I think when you're asking about, are we surprised that we're competing, or are we surprised by the performances? No, none of us are. But we've had to prepare ourselves at a much different level for a longer period of time to get closer to where we want to go. And I firmly believe without them changes, we would not even be having this conversation.
From that first leg, did you see chinks in Leon's armour that you didn't see in your trade that you can now work with?
I saw them before. So I think to say I just saw them in the game. But what do I think changed in the game? Players really saw it. For me, nothing's changed. They are human. They have errors in them. They can make mistakes like the rest of us. They're not infallible. They can be outworked. They can be outrun. And we have qualities that can hurt them. And I think the importance on Sunday was merely that we're in the tie. That's the only important part, that we're in it. We got an away goal and it's 0-0 again. And we have to do it at a much higher level than we did it on Sunday if we are to make the Champions League final.